with all that background said, knowing your role. So I was having a conversation earlier in this year and I had a revelation. In that conversation, I was talking to a gentleman that I was getting to know, and I was sharing with him something that transpired in a previous relationship. And essentially, he called me out like, "Hey, do you see the role that you played in that?" And I was like, "No, I don't see it." And dare I say, did I take offense? I'm going to use the word offense and frustration. And I just had like a zero understanding on what that man was articulating. So I shut down and I'm like, I don't want to talk anymore. And then I dealt with myself and I said, no, ma'am, we are not responding in this new year and in this new season in old ways. So I called him back and I was like, hey, I don't want to talk about it, but let's talk about it because I am not going to give over to emotions. So we talked about it. He was still making his point and sharing, you should, meaning me, that I should look at the role that I played in the old relationship that I was telling him about. And I was just like, no, don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, to know me is I may have a little bit of a bite at times, but I will always go back and look, right? I'm always going to do some self reflecting, gonna go to God, repent if I am showing up in a way that I should not, and then reflect on it. So that's what I did. I reflected on his comments, and I want to say before we even had that conversation, there was a statement I made that let me know, girl, that's pretty profound. And then that conversation happened. And then the statement I had made earlier, as in probably weeks to months earlier, had came back to me. And then more recently, within the last 3 months, the statement came back to me, or the revelation, which I'm going to share with you today or this evening. And I was like, okay, this is worth sharing because it's conviction, it's correction, but it's good. And that is knowing your role. And essentially, I'm discussing in a relationship. I find it appropriate to discuss today because I came out of Bible study and they were talking about the power of authority.